Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Different Opinion. I finally made it back from Europe. It was amazing. I mean, the month felt like it just went like this, like every holiday does. And I'll just upload a video of each city kind of thing every week or so just to show you guys where I was and kind of what we did. It won't be the most pretty videos or anything like that because I got to do it on the phone. Obviously, most of my pictures were taken on a phone as well. So that's the reason why it kind of doesn't look all professionally done and all that type of stuff. So excuse me for that. But we'll be getting into this one here today. It is Spare by Harry, right? I am a little bit late to the party, obviously. I think everyone has kind of heard a lot of stories and kind of parts of the book by now. But I'm going to be breaking down, obviously, a chapter by chapter kind of basis and just pointing out the things that I find is very stupid or, attention seeking or kind of just, the normal kind of Harry and Meghan thing where they are exploiting the people closest to them to make money, right? We can all agree on that by now. Now, I already had a copy on audiobooks. So what happened was I got a free copy on audiobooks. And then they obviously, as we know, that if you do listen to it, it kind of adds to the viewing hours, all those type of things. So I haven't even listened to it on it. On the flight back home from Amsterdam, there was a lady that was sitting in the middle aisle, and we were sitting kind of by the window and all that. Now, when we went to go to a toilet break on the flight, because it was about a 10-hour flight to Korea before we came back home to Australia, and I asked the lady, have you read the book? Because I see her have it on her lap, and she said she's actually finished it. And she said, I can have it. And obviously I said, can I give you some money for it? She said, no, take it. And yeah, I asked her kind of what she thought about the book. And she said, it's exactly what you think it would be. And so I asked her what she thinks about Harry and Meghan. And she obviously said she doesn't like him. So pretty much like most people, right? Pretty much everyone I've spoken to, most people seem to not like him as we do. Now, as you can see here, here's the copy. And yeah, I'm probably gonna like draw some devil horns on it or something like that as well, just to show what type of person he is. But before we do get into the review of the first chapter, I think I read about 20 something pages. If you do like the video, please leave a like, comment what you think as well, and also subscribe if you do want to help support the channel. So let's get into this one here today. I would say I'm excited, but really for me having to read it, yeah, it's not exciting. So it starts off with a quote. For Meg, Archie, Lily, and of course, my mother. Now, straight away, he drags his mother, Diana, into this. Straight away, from the beginning. The book's not even started yet. It's not even page 1, and he already drags his mother into one of his making money schemes again. Because obviously we know that he knows it helps him sell his books because he looks like a little mummy's boy, me and my mum against everyone else. We're the ones who win against the family. And the weird thing I found as well is that he calls Meghan Meg, and on the obviously the Netflix Liathon, he kept calling her M, and she kept calling him H. So kind of, do they keep changing nicknames all the time or something? So he quotes, "The past is never dead, it's not even past," by William Faulkner. It made me straight away kind of think about, is this kind of how he feels about Meghan's past? I mean, this is her third marriage, right? Now, I've also been listening kind of to a lot of psychiatrists, those type of people online and on YouTube and podcasts and things, because it interests me, right? The mind interests me. Now, the thing that was making me wonder is every single time they talk about narcissism and narcissists, they say the first thing they do is turn them against their family and push the people closest to them away. Now, what was the first thing Meghan did, right? Look at how Harry is with his family now. He can't even talk to his brother. He can't even talk to his father without something happening, right? I mean, he threw his own family under the bus, calling them racist. And then suddenly when people ask him again, he says, no, I never did that. And that's the thing, right? Like a narcissist like her, she just gets her claws into him and just slowly kind of pulls him down, right? Pulls him down to her level. Because, I mean, look how she is with her family. And then if you do not believe that Meghan is a narcissist by now, with all the evidence that's out there, you must be holding your hands like this and closing your eyes as well. Because seriously, it's the most obvious thing I've ever seen. Obviously, as we know by now, it is ghost written. This book is ghost written, right? Because reading the first page, the description, the writing and everything is much better than Harry could ever do in his whole entire life. So straight away, I was like, who is the actual ghostwriter for this book? So the ghostwriter is J.R. Moringer, as some people say as well. I'll give it a definition quick of what a ghostwriter is. A person whose job it is to write material for someone else who is the named author. What job does the actual author do then, right? Apart from probably just say, oh, this is what happened. And he's like, boom, writes everything, the description and everything for him. It's pretty dumb. Obviously, the story starts at Frogmore, the funeral of his granddad. And he says, this was going to be my forever place, my home forever. But then me and Meghan fled this place in fear of our sanity and physical safety. As soon as I read this, I was just like, oh my Lord. First of all, if that's how you feel, you dug your own grave. Seriously, you were the one who caused this. Like literally the first page, he already straight away plays the victim. It kind of sickens me, right? Because he starts his book at his granddad's funeral, and then he talks about how he's a victim. Yet again, selling his family's grief to make a profit. And obviously by now, this is kind of their mantra as a couple, that's what they do. They use the grief from their own family, which they're probably not even grieving as much as them, to sell their things. So he says in the book, but for him talking about his grandfather, I wouldn't be here. Neither would my older brother, but yet again, my mother would be if she wasn't married to Pa. Because obviously, a lot of people say that the granddad set, obviously, Princess Diana and Prince Charles up. And now he's trying to say that if that didn't happen, then, she'd probably still be there. Very much speculation, right? You can't guarantee anyone would be anywhere if they didn't meet a certain person. Maybe she would have died earlier. Maybe they would have died younger. You never know. They probably wouldn't even be there because it's his DNA and her DNA. Now, he talks about her a lot in these first few pages. A lot. And the thing that kind of hits me is before he started making all these kind of moves to make money, to go and him and Meghan, technically make their own money after being gifted so much money, he keeps talking about her more and more. And as we know now, about 5-10 years ago, he wasn't talking about her like this at all. Let's be real. Now, he brings up the fact that at the funeral, apparently William and King Charles now apparently ambushed him and spoke about, the trouble him and Meghan are bringing to the family. He allegedly said to William that they were going to live the rest of their lives at Frogmore, obviously. He said, you left, Harry. Harry then replied, yeah, and you know why. William replied, I don't. Harry said again, you don't? Like as a question, you don't? William says, I honestly don't. He looked at his dad and he had the same look of he doesn't know why either. It kind of speaks for itself. I mean, if your own family doesn't even know why you left, then obviously you didn't portray your side of the story for them enough. And that yet again comes to the narcissism thing, right? Where if someone disagrees or has a different way of thinking, they are wrong. But you're right, apparently. And the thing that annoys me too is he brings this up and he couldn't just keep it in a private conversation. He had to obviously put it in his book. Because the thing that he says is he wants to tell his dad and William his side of the story, but he felt that, it wasn't the right time at the funeral and, it wouldn't end well or whatever. And now he says right at the end of it that this is his way of telling his side to his family by writing a book, getting paid $10 million before the book was even released. And this is apparently him just trying to tell his side of the story. Instead of having a private conversation like every other family would, no, he has to make money from it. So later on in the kind of the pages, he talks about him and William, right? So they apparently shared a room in one of the 50 rooms in Windsor. He says that William's half is much bigger and better and prettier. But he says that his side, so Harry's side, was much more dull, smaller, didn't have the cool things that William's side had. Harry never asks why, he says. He was 2 years younger than him. Now, this is where the part where it comes to the self-pity again. He says, I was not the heir, but I was the spare. Now, for example, let's say my brother, he's 6 years older than me, right? If we were living in the same room and his side was a little bit better than mine, he got a little bit of a better view, I wouldn't be annoyed. I'd be like, you are the older one. You deserve to get the room, like the better side of the room, because you're older. You might need a little bit more space or something like that. I wouldn't be crying about it and be like, the world is against me. Nobody likes me, like Harry played. I'm not the heir. He's the heir. And he tries to go on about the saying that he's just a spare. He's the plan B. And that apparently the only reason why he was brought into this world is to be the plan B, just in case something happens to William. So if he needs a blood transfusion, if he needs a bone marrow, something, whatever the heck he says, if he needs a transplant, apparently that's the only reason why he's there. Is there something wrong with this guy? Seriously. He thinks that's the only reason why he's there. No offense, but I don't know if he knows that his family is one of the most richest and most powerful families in the whole entire world. So if William needed a blood transfusion, a kidney, for example, I'm pretty sure they'd be able to pay for one. Like, let's be real about this. For some reason, he thinks his life would be forfeited for William's. Like, what's the self-pity, dude? Like, what happened to you? You used to be an upstanding guy. You know, used to be the guy that goes and does things, and he could live his life a bit more freely because he's not the heir. Imagine if this guy was the heir. He would crack under, like, the pressure like this. Just look at him now. Then after he says about the whole sulking bit, like, my life would be given up for his, blah, blah, blah. He says, if he was just a spare, it isn't half bad being a prince, because most people, at least once, imagines to be a prince or a princess, for example. So it just astounds me, because billions of people in this world would love to trade a place with you. There's people that don't even have a freaking meal tomorrow. There might be someone that starves to death tomorrow or gets killed in a gang shootout, or whatever. And here he is complaining because he's not the heir. Now that's where I got up to. I think it was about page 20. And there's so much more I could talk about, but I obviously got to keep it a little bit minimalistic, because otherwise I could talk for hours upon hours upon hours, but we don't have time for that, right? So tomorrow, hopefully I'll be able to put another one up for you guys as well. Let me know what you think so far, especially if you did read it. Let me know if there's something that I looked over. Let me know what you think about the book as well. And I got a little surprise. So during my travels in Amsterdam, we were going through, you know, different bookstores and kind of looking for little gifts for people from the family and all that. And I've seen these postcards. So I don't know if you can see it, but it shows here. So that's Oprah Winfrey, Meghan bawling her eyes out, crying. That's Harry there, one shoe on. There's a dead dog to show, you know, what they did to their dog. And it says at the bottom, Royals is not. Now, I got two of these. I'm going to be doing a giveaway, you know, over this period of the book. So in the comments below, if you can comment what you think about the Royals, meaning Meghan and Harry, and right at the end of it, postcard, or even if you just comment postcard, I'll put your guy's name and draw. After about 2 or 3 videos, I'll draw the first one out and I'll post it to you wherever you are. And then at the end of the whole series of the book, at the end of the book, I'll actually give away the book as well. That's even if you want it. So at the end, I'll do a little bit of a giveaway with that as well. Whoever's going to be the winner, I'll just, you know, give you a message and I'll get your details and we'll be able to send it out to you. I thought of you guys while I was doing this, the traveling, so hopefully you enjoy it. So just leave your comment, just postcard, or, you know, your normal comment, and then add a postcard on the end, and I'll be able to see who wants to jump in the draw. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Like the video if you liked it, comment, like I said, and subscribe if you do want to help support the channel and see it grow. Thank you for watching.